What happened? What happened in that 8th inning? I mean, our bullpen just imploded. It imploded. It literally just looked like it blew up. It blew up. I never. I mean, we've had some tough losses this year, but I tell you what, that was bad. That was bad. The Phillies lose 11-5 to the New York Mets, and the bullpen was trash in this one. And I tell you what, I mean, Aaron Nola pitches a pretty good game. He runs into some trouble in that 7th inning, going into that 7th inning, pitches 6 1/3. But he pitched a really good game. I don't blame this loss on him. I really don't. I think he pitched very well. We just never score many pitches. It's a common theme. And Aaron Nola. We bring in Mike Morin. Mike Morin can't throw strikes. We bring in Jared Hughes. He doesn't make it any better. And Edgar Garcia, how does this man have a spot on a Major League roster? I'd like to know. I'd like to know how this guy has a spot on a Major League roster. Because he is so insanely bad. He is so bad. Honestly. He's trash. How does this guy even have an opportunity to even pitch in the Major Leagues? Because he's so bad. And then I think he gets rocked. Conforto home run, and then it's 20. And then Todd Frazier had another. I mean, oh my, that was bad. That was a boring game to start with. We had so many missed opportunities to score runs. We're going to talk about Gabe Kapler. A lot of Phillies fans and everybody are blaming Gabe Kapler for this one. Everybody, even the people that like Gabe Kapler, are blaming Gabe Kapler for this one. And we're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about that and how I feel about that. Now, I agree with it. But I'm going to share more of my thoughts about it later. Okay? But I tell you what, the bullpen was just, it blew up. It blew up, guys. It really, really did. It exploded. So let's look at the scoring summary in this one. JT Realmuto hit a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hazley came around to score the ball. It was a line drive. The ball bounced away and rolled. And the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. And then we get robbed because J.D. Davis made a great throw, and he just totally he made a great throw, but the catcher missed Adam Hazley. But they called him out, and they reviewed it, and they still called him out. He was safe. He avoided the tag, so that it would have been 2-0 in the top of the 7th inning, but instead it's only 1-0. So we totally got just robbed on that call. We got robbed. So, yeah, the umpires are not good last night. They were terrible. They had Joe West out there, and all these umpires are known for not making good calls. So, top of the 7th inning, Wilson Ramos comes off the bench. He hits a single to center. J.D. Davis and Todd Frazier. Only J.D. Davis comes from the score. The ball game is now knotted up at 1. Then, top of the 8th inning, Rosario singled to center. Alonso and Conforto came around the score. It's now 3-1 Mets. Here's the big blow. I kept saying this last night in my Instagram story. Todd Frazier with a 3-run home run. We were about to leave, so I just, we were walking around the ballpark, and I heard the crowd just go nuts, dude. Todd Frazier 3-run home run. The Met fan, he was whistling in the concourse, whistling real loud. I mean, the Met fans are so obnoxious. I'm just gonna say that right now. They are so annoying. Let's go Mets. I mean, they were chanting, "Let's go Mets. Let's go." It's it's so insanely annoying. It really is. And they go whistling in my ear and oh my goodness. Sitting with all those Met fans, I was sitting over on the third base side. I tell you what, I mean, I think I've been to almost 9 or 10 games this year. It's been so, it was so obnoxious. It was so obnoxious. And then at the top of the 9th inning, it doesn't get any better. Edgar Garcia comes in and just completely implodes as well. Michael Conforto hits a 2-run shot to right center, 401 feet, his 28th of the year. It's now 8-1 Mets. Then Todd Frazier, why not do it again, buddy? Another 3-run home run. His second 3-run home run of the game, 6 RBIs with 2 home runs. And here's our Phillies hot stove player of the game, Todd Frazier. And it's now 11-1 Mets. Unbelievable. Then Dickerson singled to center in the bottom of the thing when it didn't even matter. Dickerson singled to center. Hazley came around to score. It's now 11-2. Then JT Realmuto had a sac fly. Morrison came around to score. It's now 11-3. Then Bryce Harper doubled to right center. Of course, when I leave, he does something. Of course, when he went 0 for 3 with a strikeout and got into a double play. But when I leave, that's when he decides to really do something. Doubles to right center. Not that it mattered. Dickerson came around to score. It's now 11-4. Then Hoskins doubled to left center. Harper scored, and it's now 11-5. And that's your ball game, 11-5 to your final score. And guess what? If we wouldn't have given up all those home runs, if Rosario singled, and that was it, because we scored 5 runs, we would have defeated them 5-3. But instead, we implode. We give up 2 home runs to Todd Frazier in back-to-back innings, a 3-run shot, and we give up this towering home run to Conforto. And that's what really hurt us in this one, guys. That's what really hurt us in this one. So all in all, just a very bad game. The bullpen was just trash. I mean, Gabe Kapler was talking before the game. He's like, we got to manage this as like a playoff game. Yeah, he's been a terrible. People are acting like this is a first. People are acting like he's been great all year. Like he hasn't made one mistake, and now they're knocking him. This is not the first time he's messed up. He's messed up plenty of times this year. People are acting like they're so surprised. Like this isn't a surprise. This isn't a surprise to me. Like, I know that Gabe Kapler's like this. Like, it took everyone this long to understand that Gabe Kapler is a terrible manager? Really? It took you this long? I mean, come on. It's a joke. Gabe Kapler, I mean, come on. This is not the first time this year he's done this. Okay, so I don't know what everyone's so surprised at. Because I tell you what, I mean, it's a common theme for Gabe Kapler. So, Corey Dickerson, 3 for 4 of the runs scored, 1 RBI, 1 walk. JT Realmuto, 0 for 3 with 2 RBIs, 1 strikeout. Bryce Harper, 1 for 4, 1 RBI, 1 run scored, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Rhys Hoskins, 3 for 5, 1 RBI. Segura, 1 for 5, 1 strikeout. Hernandez, 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Kingery, 0 for 4, 1 strikeout. Adam Hasty, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, just 1 walk. Noah, 1 for 2. And Logan Morrison pinch hit, and he drew a walk. And let's look at the pitching in this one. Aaron Nolan, 6 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. As I said, he pitched really well, but he hit a wall in that 7th inning. And that's what really came back to haunt him in this one. But he pitched a really good game. So overall, Aaron Nola pitched a good game. But, of course, we never score when he pitches. Is that anything new? Alvarez, 2/3 in an inning. He pitched pretty well. Here's some more. A third of an inning, 3 hits, 4 earned runs. Ouch. He got knocked. And a walk. Jared Hughes hustling in from the bullpen. Do you see JT Realmuto's reaction to that? Gabe Kapler was talking to him, and JT Realmuto, this is literally his face. He hustles from that bullpen. Realmuto was like, I'm sure you can probably find the clip of it online. It's hilarious, dude. JT was pissed. He was fired up. JT's not he's like a kind of a chill guy, low back, low key guy from Oklahoma. But I tell you what, I mean, he was not happy. Jerry Hughes, he didn't even pitch. He didn't even record an out. 1 hit, 1 earned run, 1 home run given up. Garcia, he's probably the worst of them all. 1 2/3, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and 2 home runs given up. How does this man have a roster spot on any organization? This guy is so bad. Like, how does this guy even have a roster spot? This guy shouldn't even be in the 40-man. He's that bad. He shouldn't even be on 25, let alone, especially the 40. He is bad. There's no other way to say it, ladies and gentlemen. And today's August 31st, and tomorrow's September 1st. And on Monday, I'm making a video back talking about my new schedule. Because, obviously school's starting soon. But anyway, so I'm just going to be making a video on Monday talking about my new schedule. So make sure you all tune in for that, because it is going to be very important. So I'm not going to mention anything about it here, because we're talking about last night's game. So last night's game was a disaster. You have the New York Mets, who come into your home stadium. They have lost 6 straight. They got swept out by Atlanta. They got swept out by Chicago. You know why? Because Atlanta and Chicago are legit baseball teams. They know how to win. Atlanta, I mean, they won the division 2 years in a row. And I understand, they haven't won yet, but they're going to win. They're a lock. They're way ahead of everybody. You have the Cubs, who are way better than we are. And you have the Nats, they're running away with the wild card. You have the Braves, who are running away with the division. And you have the Nats, who are running away with the wild card. That's what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. You have those 2 situations going on. And the Nats are so much better. They are having an exciting season. They were way far behind, way out of it, and they battled back. You know why? Because they have exciting players. Anthony Rendon had a walk-off double last night, or walk-off single, I believe. And they're chanting MVP. MVP. And I just watching that, I'm just sitting there thinking, dude, I wish we had it. I wish we could get excited like that. We haven't really been able to get that excited this year. When's the last time we've been truly pumped about this team? Like March? Like April? The Nationals have had such an exciting season, a storybook season. You were 11 games under, and now you battle back, and you're one of the best teams in the National League. What a storybook season. And when have we ever had a season like that in recent last couple of years? I understand we went through a rebuild. With this new team, it's just they need to prove me that they're legit. So, yeah, Anthony Rendon definitely getting Mike Rizzo's attention. He's definitely going to get a payday wherever he goes. But Mike Rizzo, he better make that deal, man. He's not going to sign him up. It's going to have to happen in free agency. But I tell you what, the Nationals better watch out, because if they lose Rendon, that fan base is going to go nuts, man. I'm just going to say that, because they just lost Bryce Harper last year in free agency. If they lose another star, and that's really going to be bad. That's really going to be bad. So it's not going to be good over there in DC. But I know they're going to offer Soto a 10-year, $180 million contract. Mike Rizzo is. So I don't know. I don't know how that's all going to work out. I think that'd be a steal for the Nationals. I don't know if Soto would really be able to sign for that cheap. But anyway, I'm not going to sit here and talk about that, because that's Nationals news, and I don't want to. This is a Phillies channel, but it's a team in our division. So, yeah, guys, they walked it off against the Marlins, because they know how to beat the Marlins. They know how to beat the bad teams. Unlike we do, we don't know how to beat the bad teams. We always struggle against the bad teams for whatever reason. And the Mets, they came in losing 6 straight. They lost 6 straight. Swept out by the Braves, swept out by the Cubs. And then, of course, we give them the game, because our bullpen just was like, that's happened in our bullpen. It just was like, it was like a huge explosion. It was building up. Ouch. That was bad. I mean, that was really, 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 really bad. And Gabe Kapler, I mean, I'm going to talk about this again. Is this a first? Is this the first time that we've seen him mismanage a bullpen? No. And I understand that the bullpen obviously would be a lot better if we had Robinson, Hunter, Neshek, or, all these other guys who are hurt. But some of this has to come down on him. This is not a player of game management. Putting Edgar Garcia is not a playoff. It's not a playoff. I understand we're way far behind. That is not a playoff move. You have JT Realmuto doing this, rolling his eyes, and then just closing. I mean, he was pissed because he disagrees with our manager. And the thing I don't understand is people are acting like this is a first. This is the first time that he's ever mismanaged a game. That is so not true. He's mismanaged so many games this year. So many games that he's messed up. So this is not a first with Gabe Kapler. He is a bad manager. What is it going to take for everyone to understand that? He is bad. He doesn't want to punish the players. He's just not filled up. He's not made for Philly. Let's just be honest with you. He's not made for Philly. And he got booed. He got booed last night. I was one of the fans who booed him. I booed him. That's right. I booed him. I'm proud to say it. Because you know why? Because he is a terrible manager. And I went into this season giving him a second chance. I said, you know what? He's may learn from his mistakes last year. I'll give him a second chance. Now, the bullpen injuries haven't helped. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, that's not his fault. The bullpen getting hurt, how can that be his fault? That's not his fault. But the way he mismanages it, and puts Edgar Garcia in, who gets rocked, he gives up 5 earned runs, and Todd Frazier just totally owns you, 2 3-run shots in the span of 2 innings, 6 RBIs. That can't happen. You have Jeff McNeil over for the Mets going 0 for 5 last night. So it wasn't like they were like setting the world on fire. We got a hit to Wilson Ramos and Ahmed Rosario and Todd Frazier. Those are the guys who really hurt us last night. And statistically, they aren't even that good. I understand Ramos is hitting in the 290s. I understand that, Rosario's hitting like 288 or whatever it was. But offensively, from past history, they're not great. Especially Todd Frazier with that 230 batting average, whatever he has. So this is not a first that Gabe Kapler has messed up this team. I'm done with it. I'm officially done with it. I think everybody's done with him. I tell you what, I think the fans want him out, but I don't know about Klentak. I don't know what he's going to do. I really don't. I really don't know what he's going to do because, you know what, knowing him, will probably be like, let's give him another second chance. I'd rather have Pete Mackanin back, honestly. I wasn't a Pete Mackanin fan. I thought he was a very boring guy, didn't have much to him. I tell you, he probably did better than this. Come on. Bring in a Joe Madden. Bring in a Mike Scioscia. I understand that everyone's raising their arms saying, no. Don't bring in Mike Scioscia. He had Mike Trout and he couldn't do anything. Well, he'd be better than our manager we have now. He'd be much better. He'd be so much better than our manager we have now. And the umpires, like I said, did not help us last night. And I'm not going to sit here and blame them for that. But all I'm going to say is that they didn't help. It didn't help. Then we go out on the road trip on Tuesday. Or Monday, rather. And we go out to Cincinnati. And we go to New York. So, that's your road trip. Cincinnati, New York. So, yeah, guys. We had our chances to win this game. JT, once again, I'd like to know his runners and scoring position numbers. And I really would. Can we get those up? I'm going to go look them up right now. He was just absolutely just terrible last night. He had a runner at third base with one out, and he struck out. I was at the grave with my grandfather and my cousin last night, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was just watching JT. I was on a 1-2 count, and I was just sitting there, and guys, winning here is runners and scoring position. Well, scoring position numbers this year, guys. You ready? 236. He's hitting 236 with runners and scoring position. JT is hitting 230. He's been terrible. Look at Bryce Harper. He's hitting like 370 with runners and scoring position this year. He's been probably one of the clutchest hitters in MLB this year. He's probably the best hitter with runners in scoring position this year. You have JT who's hitting 236 with runners in scoring position. That's bad. That's really bad. That's what I expected the number to be. I'm surprised it's not lower, to be honest. But I was just sitting there as 1-2 count. I know the past JT. I'm like, he's gonna get him. He's gonna throw him off speed in the dirt. He's gonna look silly. His hand's gonna fly way out. And guess what he did? He looked silly and his hand's flew what out. He threw him off speed. I predicted that. I knew it. I said it was going to happen, and sure enough, it did. And I was hoping I was going to be wrong, but I wasn't. I just had that feeling. Yeah, I just get that feeling that it's not good. So we did hit the ball hard a little bit last night, but it wasn't good enough. Didn't even get to see a home run. I don't think I've been to one game this year that's been that exciting. All I got to see was a Michael Franco walk-off home run against Washington on July 14th. That was my most exciting game. I've seen Aaron Nola pitch twice. The first time was on June 21st against the Marlins. We lost like 2-1. He pitched great because we didn't give him any run support. And then he pitches last night. We don't give him any run support. And of course, we decided to do something in the ninth inning when it meant absolutely nothing. Why couldn't we do this early in the game? It would have been more exciting. We've got the crowd involved. Now, I guess you can argue that if this would have happened, if the Mets weren't up by that much, they probably wouldn't have brought in Edwin Diaz and Mazza. So I guess you couldn't say, we would have won this game, as I was saying, because I said we probably would have won this game. We obviously would have won this game if Frazier didn't hit those 2 3-run dingers. And if Conforto didn't hit that 2-run shot. But You got to think about it this way: if it was only a 2-run game, they wouldn't have brought in Edwin Diaz, and they probably wouldn't. I mean, even though he's their closer, but he's been god awful this year. He's a 5.33 ERA, and they wouldn't have brought in Mazza. They wouldn't have brought in higher. I mean, their bullpen's terrible. I mean, I don't know who else you're going to throw out there. That's the same situation with us, but I think Mickey Callaway probably would have made a better decision pitching wise. So you could sit here and say, oh, we would have won the game, as I was saying, because I said it. But now I think about it more, I'm going to correct myself because you know why? Because they wouldn't have probably brought in those pitchers. So that all that's maybe not. Maybe it still would have happened. I don't know. But since you have 11-1 lead, I think you obviously feel really comfortable about it. But I don't even care if we scored those 4 runs because it meant nothing. It meant nothing in this game, and our bullpen just blew up and imploded. It literally just was like a huge explosion. It's like a bomb going off. Like it was bad. I was one of the worst I've ever seen. Mike Morin can't throw strikes. Walking hitters. I mean, like it was so. I mean, the umpire didn't help. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to make excuses for our pitchers, but the umpire didn't help. They were totally on the Mets side last night. And those Met fans, they were making their presence known. I'll tell you what, so obnoxious. Let's go Mets. Let's go. I was booing, and man, that was quite a game last night. I've never been to a Mets Phillies game before, but I'm going to about like maybe three more games this year. I'm going to Atlanta game. I'm going probably to a Red Sox game, one of those Red Sox games on a Saturday night. I think it's the 14th with one of my buddies, and then I think I'm going to be going. Maybe I'd like to go to the final game of the season. So. And regardless if the Phillies get eliminated or not, still expect this channel to continue. Even if we get eliminated, I'm still gonna go to 162, guys. I'm still gonna go to 162. I'm still committed. And just because we've been playing like crap, I'm still not gonna sit here and say, you know what, I'm done once they get eliminated. Okay, that's not what's gonna happen. So, yeah, guys, the Phillies lose 11-5, and they have a 4:05 game today. Hopefully, we could rebound with Jason Vargas on the mound going against, or not Jason Vargas. Yes, it is Jason Vargas. I clicked on the wrong game. I'm like, what? Did they get rid of him? Jason Vargas 6-6 with a 4.09 ERA, going at Steven Matz 8-8 with a 4.06 ERA. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. Zach Wheeler looked really good yesterday. He really did. I really want him on my team. If we could sign, I just want to make this point really quickly. Yeah, and by the way, before I make this point. Zach Eflin against Stroman. Ouch. I understand he pitched well in Miami last time, but that is not going to be fun. But Marcus Stroman has had a very bad ERA since, I believe, like August 1st. So I think it's like in the 5s. But, well, look at Zach Eflin's ERA. It's even worse. That was the game to win. Last night was the game you had to win. You had to win. You had Aaron Nola, your ace on the mound, and you couldn't do it. So now it's going to be much, much harder to win these next 2 games. But I have confidence. I have somewhat confidence in Jason Vargas going against his former squad. But I had no confidence tomorrow against the Mets, the 7:05 start. But here's my thinking about this Phillies team. Obviously, Clentac went cheap on the pitching, and it's starting to show. I said it all year long. Obviously, the bullpens been plagued with the injury bug. I understand that. Not much you could really do about that. Just sign healthier players. You can't go out and sign players that are injury-prone and expect them to stay on the field because they've had a past injury with pitching. You can't say Clentac's 100% innocent here at the pitching. I mean, I understand they all got hurt, but like you got to look at their past resume and see how healthy they've been in the course of their career. And if they've been injury prone, then don't sign them. And here's another thing. This is what I want Clentac to do this offseason. Pick up the option for Jason Vargas. I believe it's only like $5 million. Do that. And you know what? Jake Arrieta will be coming back next year, unfortunately, which isn't good. But you know what? Just deal with it. Put him in like the four spot or whatever. Just re-sign Vargas. And you know what? Go out and sign 2 fairly cheap starting pitchers. I'm not asking for Garrett Cole. I'm not asking for Bumgarner. I don't even want Bumgarner. I do want Cole, though. I do want Cole. Garrett Cole's going to the Yankees. He's a Yankee. He's going to the Yankees. He's going to walk from Houston, and he's going to go to Yankees. Go to New York. I don't know where Madison Bumgarner goes. I really don't care. I don't want him, so I think he's going to fall off. So I don't want him. But there's one thing. One guy. There's 2 guys. These are 2 guys I want. Inevitably, Zach Wheeler will probably leave the Mets. And Tanner Roark will leave the Oakland Athletics. Phillies, just go out and pick up Tanner Roark and Zach Wheeler for 2-year deals. Sign them, slide them in your rotation. You could have Nola, Vargas, Roark, Wheeler, and Arrieta. Just figure it out. That would not be a bad rotation. That'd be a lot better than Pivetta in there with the Velasquez, with the Eflin, with the Drew Smiley. I mean, that would be a huge upgrade over. I'm not asking for a whole lot. I'm not asking. That is a realistic thing to happen. That sounds like a realistic opposition to go out and sign Tanner Roark and Zach Wheeler. If you can only get one of them, I'm okay with that. I prefer both, and they're not going to be that expensive. They're not going to be that expensive. I understand Roark's like 32 or 33, but he's pitched in this division. He pitched with Washington. He knows this division. And same with Zach Wheeler. He obviously knows this division as well. I understand this is a hitter-friendly ballpark here in Philly, but you know what? I could deal with it. So I'm really, really hoping that we could go out and sign Zach Wheeler and Tanner Roark. So that's pretty much it, guys. I understand this video was a little long, but I just wanted to talk about it. So Vargas against Mats. It's 4-5 the first pitch, and then tomorrow Stroman 7-12 with a 3.29 ERA, going against Eflin 8-11 with a 4.5 ERA. So guys, that is pretty much it. 4-5 start. Please smash the like in this video if you haven't yet. Please tell all your friends about these videos. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please turn on the notification bell so that way you know exactly when I make my videos. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out the social media link in the description below. Please comment on this video. Tell me what you thought about this game. All right, guys, I will see you later. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye. I'm Luke.